Hello, everyone. My name is Ronit Molko. I am the co-founder of Autism Spectrum Therapies and an advisor to Learn Behavioral. During these unprecedented times when there's been disruption in services, we are putting together a series of videos to help parents and caregivers practice some of the really important skills that will keep your child's program moving, but also help you on a daily basis with managing what it's like to be at home with kids full time, trying to manage not only your work, but keeping your kids occupied. So today I'm going to be talking about gaining attention. Gaining attention is a high level ability that enables us to do a lot of daily tasks, from communication to social interaction, to getting help and keeping ourselves safe. So it's really important that we teach the skill. The skill is typically taught early on in services. It's one of the fundamental core skills and abilities that we want kids to have because it's foundational to communication and interacting with others. So typically when we're teaching skills like this, you want to practice it at different times during the day. This is something that can be embedded into all of your normal daily routines. So things like bath time, bed time, meal time, play time. You can embed the skill, but it works often to practice it in more of a contrived or a play situation to get the hang of what you're doing and then start using it throughout the day. So one way that we suggest you work on gaining attention is to choose a game or an activity that your child really enjoys. The goal is that if your child is highly motivated to engage in this activity or play with this toy, they will be highly motivated to do what you're asking them to do. And so one of the first tips is to sit really close to your child while you're playing with this toy or engaging in this activity, because the goal is that we want to teach kids different ways of gaining attention. So one way of gaining attention is to tap you on the arm or make eye contact with you or touch a part of your body. Another way to gain attention is to use some kind of verbal communication or communication on an augmented device if your child is using that. So what you want to do is start getting engaged in the activity with your child, playing with the toy, playing the game, and then pausing. And so there are a couple of ways you can do this. One way is if you're, for example, doing a puzzle or playing a board game, you can put your hand over a puzzle piece that your child wants to pick up, or you can kind of block part of the game, block the board game that your child's trying to access. And so as you block it, your child then has to initiate some kind of attention gaining movement to get your attention. And so we don't want you making eye contact with your child. We don't want you looking at your child. You can turn your body away. The goal is to kind of create a block and then have your child need to reach out to you, tap you on the shoulder, or say mom, dad, or the name of somebody who they're playing with to get attention. Once your child exhibits that attention-seeking behavior, that's something that's functional, something that's adaptive, that we want to essentially reward, you will then continue engaging in the toy and the activity. So unblock the puzzle piece that you were blocking, or turn your body back to face your child. And you want to do this immediately. You want your child to understand that in direct, we want natural consequences to be reinforced. So you want your child to understand that as soon as he or she calls your name or reaches out, touches your arm, you immediately re-engage. And so that teaches, well, this is how I get attention. So what if it doesn't always work that perfectly, right? Here are some troubleshooting tips. If your child does not try to gain your attention while you're blocking or removing your eye gaze and your attention from them, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can just show your excitement. You can say, I love playing with this toy. I love this game. This game is so much fun, to kind of create the excitement of continuing with the game. Another way is to use what we call physical prompting. So if your child needs it, you can put your hand over your child's hand and move it and tap your arm and show them how they would get your attention. Another way is to use what we call a verbal prompt, where you would say something like, say, mom, look at me, or mom, move your hand away, or whatever level your child is at, whether they have multiple word sentences, or whether they're just working on one word at a time, or whether they're working on a nonverbal gesture. You can do this at any level of development with your child. So you want to teach your child essentially how to gain your attention, either physically or verbally. And as your child becomes more proficient at doing this, you want to reduce your level of prompting so that your child takes on the skill more independently. Once you are in a situation where you're playing with your child and they're understanding what they need to do, they're tapping your arm, they're calling your name, they're gaining your attention, you would then want to move practicing the skill to other rooms in your home and to other activities. So that's something that we call generalization. We want to take a skill that a child has developed and we want to have them practice it in different situations, in different places, and with different people. And so you might, during your bedtime routine, when you're putting your child to bed, if you're reading a story, suddenly stop and just become silent and wait for your child to tap you on the arm or to kind of look at you and go, carry on, continue. You want to create those little opportunities through all those natural routines in the day where your child has the opportunity to practice a functional way and an effective way of gaining your attention without things like hurting you or shouting. Then as your child develops the skill and becomes more proficient at the skill, you want to increase the difficulty. So you want to be further away from your child. So they can't just reach out and touch you, but they have to come to you and approach you, or they have to call your name to get your attention. And so you want to slowly increase the distance, maybe be in another part of the house, and encourage your child to gain your attention in more natural scenarios, because you're not obviously always going to be right next to your child. Ideas of activities that you can use to do this. I mean, really, you can do it with anything. Board games, puzzles, spinning tops, bubbles, remote control cars, playing with blocks and knocking them down. I mean, any activity that your child enjoys. And then, as we said, you can practice this during natural routines in the day. So things like when you're bathing your child, putting your child to bed, reading stories, eating. If your child's eating something, you can block access to that food, to picking up the next piece of food, and have them use a verbal or a physical gesture to gain your attention so that you will then remove the block and your child has access. I hope that this video is helpful in working on gaining attention. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are here to support you. We are here to help guide you during these unprecedented times that we are all facing, and wish you luck with teaching your child gaining attention. Take care.